Good afternoon. My name is Andrew Lambert. I'm in Miss Eads Business Communication course. This afternoon, I would like to discuss with you communication and assessing employee performance. One of the most burdensome tasks of a manager is to have candid conversations with employees regarding their performance, also goals and expectations moving forward with that employee. These are difficult conversations to have. They're often confrontational depending on how the employee receives or agrees with this feedback. They're also fairly inconsistent, and that could be employee to employee, multi-generationally, or it could be depending on the circumstances surrounding that evaluation. It's also key in developing that talent and retaining that talent for the organization. I've reviewed 3 articles regarding the performance and communication of performance with employees. The first article we'll talk about is Knorr and Sternberg's 2014 Top Career Limiting Leadership Behaviors of Managers. Now, one of the first things we need to do as managers is look introspectively on how we communicate with employees. Some of those expectations that we have of employees are invalid if they are not openly communicated with those employees. As managers, sometimes this is an image that we portray, how we praise people, how we blame people if that is the case. We need to have open communication with those employees, and we also need to listen to the employee's needs and listen without the expectation that we're developing a response in our head as managers. Now, these top 10 career limiting leadership behaviors, I was appalled to see that 6 out of the top 10 of these behaviors were directly related to communication. Now, while that may be surprising, many of us have had positions in the past, either as leaders or as employees, where we have seen one of our biggest issues is communication. So as surprising as it may be, it is not altogether out of the question that communication plays a key role in the morale of employees. Candid dialogue regarding performance is directly tied to several of these top 10 career limiting leadership behaviors, and it's important that we employ each of these behaviors introspectively for our own improvement so that we can communicate effectively the performance of our employees. Article 2 was Parsons' No Easy Fixes for Flawed Staff Review Processes. It was interesting in this article how Parsons addresses multi-generational employee bases. As we see the millennials graduate high school and graduate college and come into the workforce, these are very hands-on employees, and they've grown up entrenched in a technology-based society. So the instant gratification that they're used to with likes, shares, followers on many of their social media sites it only plays into their needs for employee evaluations. Many companies are now using smartphone applications for the employee evaluations. And this literally puts the evaluation in the palm of their hands, which they're very comfortable with. One thing I would caution, though, is while these millennials are coming into the workforce, unless you're working for a startup or some .com company with solely a millennial employee base, this particular approach may not be appropriate because many of us are going to have multi-generational employee bases. So there's no one solution to this. There's really no substitute for those quarterly and annual face-to-face personal reviews, because many of us will still have baby boomers, Gen X, Gen Y employees that may not be as comfortable or familiar with technology as those new employees coming in. The third article was Burt Kostler and Wakefield's Building Talent, Developing Effective Leaders is as Crucial as Ever. Now, while this article did not specifically address employee evaluations, I think it's important to bring up because it did specifically address the image that a company portrays to their employees and to their customer base in economic downturn. While many companies in an economic downturn will halt or cancel employee development processes and their leadership development programs and begin to lay off people with the uncertainty in the economic situation, this sends a poor message to the employees. So this nonverbal communication, this image portrayal to the employees is just as important of a communication vehicle to the employee of their value for the company. An employee's perception is reality. So when an employee perceives that a company is stopping their leadership development, that's reality. And this nonverbal communication to the employee regarding their performance is just as important as a quarterly performance review. Overall, we need to evaluate our employee base. And this evolution of the employee base calls for an equal evolution of the performance evaluation process. Open communication is key. Clarity in the company's vision, your vision for your employees. Personal goals for the employees and the organization. Make no assumptions. The employees cannot read your mind, so that open communication on a frequent basis is critical. And candid conversations regarding the employee's performance, whether that's good performance or poor performance, is critical. And then also continuously developing the talent sends a message both to your employees and to your customers that you care and value their contributions regardless of what's going on in the economy. The company, the organization, the employees will be stronger coming out of that economic downturn if that continuous leadership development is there. So I appreciate your attention today, and I wish you the best of luck with evaluating your employees' performance and improving your organization over time. I hope that this was helpful to you. Thank you.